Hey, it's Tony here at Smart Motors Toyota in Madison, Wisconsin. Today we're going to take a quick look, an overview of this brand new 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. The TRD Pro 4Runner is the top of the line off-road in the 4Runner lineup. We're going to do an overview on this one, and then I'm going to show you a couple of the factory accessories that we ordered specifically for this vehicle. Let's dive in. Okay, beginning up front on the TRD Pro, a couple things I want to point out right away. The fog lights, these are LED fog lights, which is part of the TRD Pro package. We have projector style head beams and halogen headlights. The front end on this is unique in that the grille is your matte black finish grille, and this is the only model that has the Toyota badging across the front. Otherwise you get the Toyota emblem. So that's a little bit unique and different about the TRD Pro. Also, your hood scoop on the TRD Pro does have the black bezel around it. And this is not a functional hood scoop, it's sheerly cosmetic. It does not open into the engine compartment, but it does add a nice, rugged, sporty feel to the front end. This black box that you see right here, this is where all of your technology in terms of your safety protection goes. So you've got dynamic radar, dynamic cruise control, pedestrian detection, all of those electronic features are built right into this black panel on the front of the 4Runner. Then on the lower part of the bumper, you can see we do have the black applique here as well. And then as we dive down underneath, I just want to show you the skid plate is the TRD branded skid plate with the red lettering. And that skid plate goes back quite a ways underneath the vehicle. So it definitely is there to add some extra protection, and it's not plastic, it is steel, and adds not only extra styling underneath, but protection. So there's your tow hook there, and there's an additional tow hook over on this side here. There's a quick look at your suspension up under there with the Fox shocks and such, and we'll take a closer look as I get the wheels turned around as well. But this is a unique front end style on the TRD Pro with the big Toyota grille on the front, and then you've got the LED fog lights as well. Let's go ahead and move around to the driver's side, and we'll take a quick look at the tire and wheel package on the TRD Pro. Okay, here's a quick look at the tire setup. So these are the TRD Pro styled wheels. Those are a 17-inch cast aluminum wheel, and then mounted on the wheels are these Nitra Terra grappler tires. So these tires are definitely set up to go off-road, but they're also pretty nice on-road. So trying to find that balance between a smooth ride and the off-road capabilities that people are looking for. This particular tire does a nice job. The tire is a P265 70R 17-inch combination on-road, off-road tire. Let's see if we can take a close look at the suspension setup. So here's a look from this side, and you can see the TRD red springs in there. You can't see the Fox shocks from this side, but let's go around to the passenger side and see what other view we can get. If I get a chance, I might try to do a video with this one up in the air so you can see it from underneath. But here we go. Here's a little bit better view of those Fox shocks. You can see that stabilizer bar, really heavy duty setup for your suspension under the front, and definitely those iconic red springs really stand out on it. Let's go ahead and move down the driver's side, point out a couple features here. We'll start out by taking a look at the mirrors. Now the mirrors don't have blinkers in the sides of them, but they do fold in for tight parking spaces or going off-road, and they also flip out like so. They do not have the blind spot monitoring system in the mirrors. Not that I know, but I'm guessing they didn't put all those extras on the mirrors because these mirrors could take a punishment off-road, and you definitely don't want to spend the money to constantly be fixing blinkers on the mirrors. The door handles are colored to match, so this is a super white, and we do have the keyless entry system, so all you have to do is put your hand on the door as long as you have the keys, and the door will open. The trim on the side of the vehicle, the window trim, is all a matte black finish, which really ties in nice with the cargo rack and the wheels. You can see we do have the TRD PRO badging, and this is the black emblem package, so black emblem overlays. And then this one does have a factory accessory, the factory accessorized running boards. They're texturized, they're covered with a hard plastic covering, and they look pretty nice on there. I'm kind of skeptical of running boards for off-road driving, but if you don't do a lot of off-road driving, that might be the right running board for you. And then we do have the factory mud guards, and you can see we have the huge cargo rack up on top as well. So it looks pretty nice on that vehicle. Let's go ahead and jump in the trunk and see what we can find. Okay, diving into the back. First thing I want to point out is the large bumper here on the back. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're camping or snow skiing or what have you, it actually gives you a nice place to sit down to go ahead and put on your equipment. So I really like that. Some of the other SUVs on the market don't have a large bumper like that, but I think that really is a nice feature. Coming into the trunk, the first thing you're going to see is this accessory right here, and this is a retractable cargo carrier, if you will. And it's an extra, what I believe it's $350. And the idea is if you put your packages up on here by using this lever right here, you can actually pull it in and out of the vehicle. So it gives you an extension to the back for tailgate parties and such, but it also makes it easy to put packages up here and then just slide them up and out of the way. So that is an accessory that costs extra, but it might be something you'd want to consider. And then also with that comes a hidden storage compartment right under here. So this door comes off and there's a small additional storage compartment, and you can see we do have tie-down hooks at the four corners right there and there as well. Over on this side we've got our AC power, 120 volt AC power, and then we also have our auxiliary power right there, 12 volt, 120 watt there, 400 watt here. This TRD PRO does have the JBL audio system, so you pick up this huge subwoofer in the back. You can get a cargo cover, it's an accessory, and you can also get a cargo net, which is an accessory. This vehicle does not have that. But I do have those seats folded down to really demonstrate how much room is in the back of this. And if you need to go on an overnight camping trip, throw an air mattress in there and you should be just fine, assuming you're not much more than, say, 5'8", 5'9". Nice place to spend the night. There are additional speakers right here on the tailgate. There's a cargo light here, another speaker here, cargo light, and the strap to be able to close the tailgate. But then the tailgate also has these additional handles right here to be able to close it down. It is not a power tailgate, but it's not too difficult to close. And then here at the back of the vehicle, just a couple things to point out. The blacked out emblem package makes this all black. We do have a power door lock right here, The rear window actually is power up and down. It's tinted, rear window defrost. Here's your third brake light, and there's a wiper, rear wiper up underneath as well. And then we do have a backup camera right under here. And then finally down here on the bottom, we have our towing package. So our female end for the towing package, a full-size spare tire, and your wiring, both 4 and 7-pin wiring setup is already good to go. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of a view of the rear suspension. So that's a good look underneath. Again, I hope to do another video down under, but that's the rear end. Okay, diving into the driver's compartment. We'll stop here on the door for just a minute. We've got power windows, power door locks. These are auto down for all 4 windows, auto up for all 4 windows. There's a nice black lacquer trim piece right here, chrome door handle, and then because a TRD is known for red, here's your red stitching in the doors, bottle holders on the doors, and speakers down here. Now this is the JBL audio system, so it does have a 15 speaker sound system, including the speakers in the back deck. Coming into the driver's compartment, first of all, TRD Pros do come with the TRD Pro all-weather floor mats. It's a 3-mat package, and of course with the TRD branding on there. The driver's seat is full power, forward, backwards, up and down, power recliner, and power lumbar support. The seats themselves are a Softech fabric seat, and they do have the red TRD stitching. And then up in the headrest, of course, we do have that TRD embroidered headrest with TRD stitching down the side as well. So again, those styling cues that you'd expect out of a TRD. And then you can see up on the roof here, we do have factory power moonroof, and it tilts up and slides back. It's tinted, and it does have this sliding visor right here, which is easier to do when you're in the driver's seat. And there's also some passenger assist grips right here. And while I'm here by the side, I'm just gonna jump up and show you that cargo rack. And that one is not removable. You can see right here, well, I guess you could if you wanted to have holes in your roof, but it's actually affixed to the roof itself, so that's not removable, or at least I don't recommend that you remove it. Let's go ahead and jump in the driver's seat and see what we can find. Okay, so here I am in the driver's seat, and I'm just gonna close that door real quick, turn off that buzzer, take a quick look at the steering wheel. It is a full leather steering wheel. It's padded and it's quite thick, and then it has nice thumb rest. It's a perforated leather, and then a solid leather up on the top. On the steering wheel itself, we've got that nice gloss black applique that we saw over here in the door. So tying that all together, and that also runs down your center stack as well. Super nice styling cue on this. Back to the steering wheel. Controls right here for your sound system, your Bluetooth connectivity. You can place your calls right here, either voice activated, or you can hang up or place a call if you pair your phone to the sound system. Over on the right hand side, we've got controls for our information center, which is up here in the gauge cluster. I'm going to start it up in just a minute so you can see what that looks like. And then we also have our switches for our sensitivity, for our following behind another car, for our dynamic cruise control, lane departure indicators there, and then we do have our cruise control stock down here. So this is the older style Toyota steering wheel, but again, very comfortable. Rear washer wipers right on the end here, and then front washer wipers, and then over on the other side is where we find our headlights and our fog light controls. Let me go ahead and start it up so you can see what the gauges look like when I turn it over. Okay, so I'm just going to let it run a little bit, so you might hear the exhaust or the engine. But you can see the gauges are white on black, and then they have these red mechanical needles. Temperature gauge right here, and our fuel gauge and our speedometer. You can see we've got an information center, tells me that front right door is open. And you can see that we don't have our seatbelts on. Here's our trip reset, all right in the center stack, or right in the gauge cluster, I'm sorry. Over on this side, here's where we're first gonna find our push button start. And because we do have a keyless entry system, smart key, we don't need to put our key in our ignition. Let's take a quick look down the center stack. There's a digital clock up here, vents. Here's your flashers, or your hazards, if you will. The center stack itself is an 8-inch touchscreen, so this is a new touchscreen for this model year. And you can see we do have navigation. It's a dynamic navigation, and it does have touchscreen capabilities. We also, I mentioned JBL audio system, so this is a 15 speaker sound system with Sirius XM satellite radio, HD radio, and Grace Notes. And then we do have our standard Toyota app suite. Coming a little bit further down, oh, by the way, we also have Apple CarPlay as part of the system for the 2020 model year. Automatic temperature control is here, and it is a digital system. You also have the manual capabilities. We also have front window defrost and the different positions where we want the air to come out, air conditioning. Rear window defrost also activates the outside mirrors. And then here's your dual automatic temperature control. So if you want to allow the passenger up front to set their own temperatures, they can do that right there. And then down here is where we find our USB ports, more charging capabilities. There's a small storage compartment. Go ahead and shift it into gear. There's also a storage compartment here. And we have a cup holder there. We do have a your four-wheel drive shifter here, so there's no push button on the four-wheel drive. And then taking a look at the center console itself, the shift knob, it has brushed aluminum trim here. It's a leather wrapped, and you can see it does say TRD there as well. And then this is the only place that I've seen where they have kind of a carbon fiber look applique. I'm sure it's not carbon fiber, but it sure looks nice. Heated seat controls, and those are only on the front 2 seats. And then this is your rear window power window switch. An additional cup holder over here. Here we've got the glove box. A nice brushed aluminum piece of trim right here, and that's the only place that I've seen that as well. So they use a bunch of different textures and metal looks, but that's the only place I see that. And then the dash itself feels like a fabric. I'm sure it's plastic, but it feels pretty nice. And then we have our glove box there with, of course, all of the owner's manuals and the wiring for your trailer towing if you're using that particular wire setup. TRD floor mats, of course. Here's a quick look at the dashboard. Turning our attention up toward the headliner, you'll see we do have our HomeLink system for our garage door opener, power moonroof controls. Here's our off-road setups for our traction control and our switches for different crawl modes and those types of things when we're off-road, different terrain settings. All of those things can be adjusted up here. We can certainly go over how all those features work when you stop in and take it for a drive. We do have an automatic dimming mirror. And then another look up at the roof here of our power sliding moonroof. And finishing off with the center armrest. The armrest is stationary. There's plenty of room for 2 arms. It does have the red stitching. And then down underneath, plenty of cargo room there, and another charging port, and a place to put your coins. And then on the back of the armrest, there's a place here for storage for letters, an ink pen, so kind of a workstation setup. And so that's a quick look in the interior. Again, when you stop in, we'd be happy to go into detail about how all the features work with regards to the sound system and also your suspension and off-road capabilities. Let's go ahead and jump outside. I want to look under the hood and we'll finish up there. Okay, heading under the hood, our standard power plant on the 4Runner is Toyota's 4-liter V6, and this is the only vehicle that Toyota uses this engine in. Produces 270 horsepower, 278 foot-pounds of torque, and has proven to be a very strong engine for this vehicle. Now, the warranty on it is a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. You've got a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. And then, of course, every Toyota does come with Toyota Care, which is going to cover all your maintenance for 2 years or 25,000 miles. The transmission, also covered under the warranty, is a 5-speed automatic transmission. And we do have part-time 4-wheel drive, which is controlled inside with the shifter. There are hood struts to bring that hood up and keep it up, which is unusual. Usually I find prop rods in trucks and SUVs and those types of things. But a great engine, and certainly will do the job off-road in this particular vehicle. So there you have it, the 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, super white in color. It's available for sale at Smart Toyota in Madison. TRD Pros are somewhat hard to come by, but this one's available for sale today. And a couple of accessories, the sliding cargo tray, the factory running boards, which you see right there. And give us a call or stop by. Shop our website, smarttoyota.com. If you see a vehicle you like, we can bring it out to you at your place of business or home. Hope you enjoyed the video.